What is going on, everybody? It's me, Severin7, and today I've got a spicy one for you, Jund Artifacts. And boy, is this deck just awesome. It's really, really fun. It's like a puzzle piece aggro deck almost, kind of like a combo finish. And I've really been having a good time with it in testing so far, so I'm excited to share it with you. Let's get into the deck tech really quickly. So the goal of the deck is to kill the opponent with Biotech Specialist. So Biotech Specialist is a 1/3 for 2 mana that says when it enters, we get a lander token. And whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. Now, I've been struggling to find exactly the right home for this, and this still might not even be the best iteration of it, but this is the one that's had the most success for me so far, where we just sacrifice tons of artifacts to kill our opponent off via his damage triggers. Now, how we're accomplishing that goal is by having a kind of aggressive build with 4 edge rovers, which this is something we can sacrifice, but it also makes a lander that we can sacrifice later, and it's just a really aggressive 2/2 for 1 mana. And then we're playing Umbral Caller Zealot to kind of help us have free way to sacrifice all these artifacts. So sacrificing the lander tokens from this, or just the edge rover itself, or sacrificing, you know, our Legion Extruder if we need to later on in the game, or the foods from Tough Cookie, or the foods that we make from our Restless Cottages, or the maps from Sentinel of the Nameless City. So the goal is basically to just try to either hold up a little bit of removal on turn 1 with Torch the Tower, or play an edge rover on turn 1, get down a Biotech Specialist, or an Umbral Caller Zealot, or Legion Extruder, one of our sweet 2-drops, and then just start making a bunch of tokens with Sentinels and you know, Gold Vein Hydras, another fantastic way to create a ton of tokens. You know, every treasure sacks for 2, and we don't even need a sack outlet for that. And you know, just all kinds of ways to make artifact tokens. And then Legion Extruder, sort of like an alternate win condition, because this lets us remove something, but it lets us turn all those artifacts into 3/3s if we run out of Biotech Specialists. And we also have 2 copies of Lively Dirge in the list to help us go search for another one of these, or maybe we need the Salk outlet and put it in the graveyard, and then we can fetch both an Umbral Caller Zealot and a Biotech Specialist out of our graveyard to the battlefield to help us combo. Or if we already have an Umbral Caller Zealot or a Specialist on the field, we can get, you know, 2 Specialists or what have you. Basically, it just lets us get back onto the battlefield so that we can win later in the game if our opponent removed one of our early threats. And then Tough Cookie, kind of the same thing. Tough Cookie lets us turn all of our little tokens into 4/4s, and we can end up with a lot of mana in the late game, so it's not even that unlikely that we can animate multiple artifacts in 1 turn. And Chandra Spark Hunter is another alternate win condition, so you can kind of see that this deck has a lot of avenues for winning, because it's not that difficult to get to her ultimate. Basically, she also lets us make a 3/2 vehicle that we can animate and give haste with her passive ability, or we can sacrifice an artifact and draw cards to make use of our extra maps or landers or whatever to dig for our win conditions. And if we get her to 7 and we minus her, every artifact that enters will deal 3 damage to any target. So lots and lots of ways to win. And then as far as removal goes, like I mentioned earlier, we have Torch the Towers, we've got some Bitter Triumphs, we've got the Legion Extruders to help, and that is the deck list. In the mana base, we've just got a few of each basic so that we have things, you know, enough to search with the lander tokens if we need to. A couple starting towns, Fountain Ports, because these can make treasures for us to sacrifice later, and then a Jund mana base focusing on Stomping Ground and Verges, as well as a couple Restless Cottages, because those also make food and can help us deal with graveyard strategies. And if you think this deck is cool and you enjoy what you see in the gameplay, please take a quick moment to hit that like button and subscribe button to help me get to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. Let's get right into those 30 games and see where we end up. All right, let's do it. Mike 1312. I wish I had a black mana, but I'm gonna keep in the hopes that we'll find one, because this is a decent start on the play. Tranquil Cove. There is a black mana. That is quite good. So go ahead and get down Zealot. Alright, so it's looking like Esper Pixie, probably. Oh, that's beautiful. Or maybe... they could be running counters, I guess. No counter, though. That's good. Get in for 5. Opponent's gonna rides end me. Okay. So maybe it's Esper control. Interesting. Coward Barons. Well, let's Legion Extruder them. Gonna get in with just the Edge Rover here because I don't want to get my Specialist rides in, and if he tries to rides in the Edge Rover, I can sack it to the Legion Extruder. If he has straight up removal for the Specialist, that would suck, but I'll still probably make a 3/3 in response. Alright, let's pass the turn. Ping him for 2, make a 3/3. And giving us the naps helps because if he does wipe the board here, I can still make some 3/3s. So I'll get ooh, another extruder. Nice. Let's get in. Sack it, get a lander, make a 3/3. Opponent's gonna remove that 3/3. Alright, let's ping him for 2 with this extruder then. Stock up. You got it. Swamp. And Seam Rip. Well, let's just play Chandra.
Out of my way. I'm here to win. Rev him up.
Get in for 3.
Go, go, go!
This one-off Chandra in this deck is so good. River Churn Monument for the opponent. I'm gonna plus her. Sacrifice a lander here. Got us a land. Go ahead and pump it or power this up. Get in for 3. Then we'll plan on making some robots at the end of his turn. Sure. Opponent's gonna mill us. Gonna sack the lander token. I don't think I'm in danger of losing to the River Churn Monument, so I'm not gonna impact it right now. I'd rather make 2 3/3s. Give us a higher chance of winning on this follow-up turn. Another monument, sure. Alright. Sack a map, make 3/3. And they scoop it up. Alright. Too fast for the Esper Mill deck. I say fast like we were an aggro deck. GG. I am ready. It's a Risa. Opponent is going first. How do I feel about this hand? I think it's okay. It's not super exciting, but it's definitely not bad enough to mulligan. Blooming Marsh for the opponent. And Molt Tender. Alright. Gives us something to get rid of with Extruder. Lush Portico. Those like roots. And Molt Tender number 2. Opponent gets in with the 1. Let's get down Umber Collar Zealot. Concealed Courtyard. Yep, it's roots. There is a Ketramos. Ketramos roots seems like a good place to be right now. Especially with like Goyce and stuff. Alright, Legion Extruder. And should honestly probably have Siege Ship impacted that roots. That might have been a mistake. We'll see. Cauldron. All right. Let's discard a card here. Alright, so we got them to a point where they can make 1 plant. And they're not going to get to put a counter on the plant. Maverick is annoying. Means I get to get in for 3 here. Now I have a lander to make a 3/3 with the extruder. It's definitely going to be an annoying game. Land. Edge rover. We have a cottage. He can power up his cottage too, but let's get rid of the Maverick. If he wants to block with his land, I'm fine with that. Oh, but he's gonna get to survive his. Forgetting about Cauldron. Well, I guess we're gonna sack this to Surveil since it's just gonna die anyway. That was a boo-boo on my part. Gotta always remember the stupid Cauldron. Honestly, I wish I could have gotten rid of the Cauldron, but I feel like getting rid of the roots was still the better play. Timeline color. Day of Judgment. Okay. Gold Vein Hydrant. Yes, please. Super sweet draw. Gonna block with his cottage, which is fine, because then I'm just gonna make an even bigger Goldbane Hydra next turn. Get some treasures. Let's see what he's got. Plays a Rebel Belt Maverick, gets a Surveil on. Mills a land. Keeps something on top. Plays another Maverick. Mills Insidious Fungus. We will sacrifice the lander token to make a 3/3. Oh my goodness, we're just drawing all our Hydras, and I couldn't ask for a better thing for us to be drawing. Now the opponent may have some exile. Okay, they scoop it up. I was gonna say they may have some exile-based removal because they're playing Ketramos, but turns out they didn't. GG. Saint Akira. I like this hand. So glad I added Lively Dirge to this list. I don't know why I wasn't running it to begin with, because it's like we do end up with a decent amount of lands typically. Edge Rover. Edge Rover. Yum. It's mono green. Boy howdy. Let's get the tap land out of the way. I guess we're probably gonna end up Bitter Triumphing something, or Legion Extruder if we can. If we Llanowar Elves and a land. I think my best play is Sentinel here. I have Bitter Triumph, so it's not like I need to. I have ways to remove his things. Mossborn Hydra. Okay, so it's not an untapped land. That's all that matters. We're golden. They can't protect the Hydra. Hopefully we find a land here. Nice. So we can play Zealot and Triumph. Traveling Chocobo. Finds a land. No triggers for it though. And Saz's Chocobo, so we can trigger that. That's annoying. Alright, well, let's Legion Extruder the Chocobo. Get rid of Saz's Chocobo. Put the opponent to 6. And I have Lively Dirge, so like I can go and get and reanimate my combo piece here in a little bit. Plays Saz's Chocobo. Does he have another land? Yep. I love how no matter how much of his pieces I remove, they still always just find a way to be absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't have any particularly good blocks here. Okay, just blocks with the Chocobo. I'm gonna leave it like this because I have enough mana to go and get my combo piece, and then I can just sacrifice everything to kill him. Alright, opponent pumps everything up. I mean, we are at 12, so we've got to be careful, because he can pump this stuff a lot, and he can double up the counters and all that fun stuff, so we can't just not block anything. Yep. Does he have a way to give it trample? If he has a way to give it trample, we're kind of screwed. X5? Okay, but no trample. So we just have to block those two things. Yep. Technically, I only have to block the Chocobo. Alright, cool. Oh, we just drew the specialist anyway. We don't even have to do the... We don't even have to do the dirge. 2... 4... and 6. Easy. I love this deck. This deck is so much fun. It's like a little puzzle piece win condition. I love it. GG. It's Sicario. It's time to ping all your things. This is not a hand that we can keep. Mulligan. This is better, but barely. I guess we put back Dirge here. I probably could get down Mountain, but I don't want to risk. Okay, clay-fired bricks. I can see shift impact. Ooh. Let's get down specialist first. I'm not sure what he's doing. If it's like... Oh, that's annoying. Alright, let's get down Sentinel. So, mono white control, I guess, is what I'm looking at. Oh, no, okay, it's blue-white. He just hadn't found any blue yet. Perilous Snare. Alright. Let's get down Legion Extruder. It's a Simulacrum deck. Alright, well, as much as I don't want to, we absolutely have to get rid of that. That's not how I wanted to use that C-chip impact, but it is what it is. Maybe I should have done it after they scryed. It's definitely possible. Mari Vault. Which means they can start digging. Repurposing Bay. Thankfully, they don't have anything good to sacrifice right now. And I can start getting in a little bit here with the Golem. Ooh, Chandra. That's a good draw. Do you have a counter? Make a vehicle.
You know common. Ooh, check out these wheels.
Animate the vehicle.
Keep up the pace.
Get in for 6. Spring-loaded saw blade, sure. Now he does have something to... use repurposing bay on, which is annoying. But I mean, what does he get? Just like if he gets if he gets synthesizer, he's only got 1 card in hand, which is probably something that could trigger synthesizer. But I feel like he almost has to get Perilous Snare or Pinnacle Star Cage. Let's see what he gets. Pinnacle Star Cage, alright. That is annoying, but I can just keep making vehicles. And Braided Net does technically let him stop my vehicle.
Now that's a winning ride.
I'm gonna get in with Cottage.
Out of my way.
Why would he tap that and not the cot? Does this say non-land? It does. Oh, that's good for me. All right, let's get rid of Synthesizer. Because now I even have an artifact to sacrifice to draw a card next turn. I thought he could tap the Cottage. I didn't realize it said non-land. Nice. I mean, he can dig with Vault, and he could technically sacrifice the Braided Net and go get some kind of 4-drop if he has any. This may be a United Battlefront version of the list, though. He can craft. All right. And then he has to pay 4 to draw. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's drawing the cards. He's got 1 mana left. He has a land, so that means that he's probably got another spring-loaded saw blade somewhere in there. I think this is the turn I'm going to play the Hydra. Get Hydra down. He can't saw blades this because it doesn't tap, so that's positive. I'm gonna make another vehicle, honestly.
Rev him up.
Because all I have to do is draw an Umbral Collar Zealot, and the Specialist can help me win the game from there. Saw blades on the vehicle. Yep. Alright. Put us down to 8. There's a synthesizer. The question is if he's playing Fire Crystal in the list or not. If he's playing Fire Crystal, we could be in some trouble. All right. Gonna go get another Perilous Snare, Pinnacle Star Cage. Another synthesizer, actually. Alright. He's just going for it. So that means he's got what he needs in hand, then. I just need an Umbral Collar Zealot, man. If I could just draw an Umbral Collar Zealot or a Lively Dirge, we'd be fine. Play Fired Bricks, sure. 2 life actually does kind of suck. Oh my gosh, okay. Umbral Collar Zealot would literally win us the game here. Does it take that long to find a plains? You can do it, opponent. I believe in you. Okay, that is not... Alright, so let's plus...
Trash to triumph.
Sacrifice... Oh my gosh, our life. We're so dead.
Push it to the limit.
I'm just gonna have to hope. I'm gonna have to hope he doesn't have Fire Crystal on his list. And that he just tries to make a really big, If he gets a Star Cage, I'm kind of screwed. But Star Cage would also hurt him too. Because he would lose the token he can attack with, so... He's got 2 cards in hand. He can go fetch any 3 or 4 drop from his deck, and he's got plenty of mana to dig with Mari Vault. He's gonna give me back Legion Extruder? What? I'm alive if he doesn't have a way to trigger Synthesizer again. That doesn't trigger Synthesizer again. It does make gnomes. That's still 18. I'm still dead. Okay. Oh, he's so lucky. If I had one more mana, I could have torched one of the tokens and then I would have won on the backswing. What luck. GG. I found you, Hades the Risen. This looks good to me. Concealed Courtyard and Cecil. Storm Chaser's talent. So what is this, Pixie? Does Pixie play Cecil? play Sentinel. Bitter Triumph. Great. This means they're flipping their Cecil this turn. I need to find some removal. I'm gonna pick back up Bitter Triumph, I guess. No blocks. He's probably going to Bitter Triumph the Hydra anyway. Another talent, sure. Go to combat. Play Tough Cookie. Make a food. Nowhere to run. This is gonna be difficult. Get some treasures. Stack of food. Go up to 10. So for 7. This will force him to have to Bitter Triumph this, which will give me a ton of treasures. And probably make it pretty easy to win with Biotech Specialist on the follow-up turn. Especially with him paying the 3-way. That helped. Alright, so I just have to live through this turn and I should be okay. Gonna buy back the Bitter Triumph, sure. He's gonna get in for 5. Go up to 14. All right, so this first, and then I think we win. I guess technically I didn't need to do that either. I could have just blown up one of his Storm Chaser's talents. But that's enough treasures to kill him alongside cracking the Sea Chip Impact token. Oh, and he makes a lander token himself. I didn't. There's literally so much damage potential from this turn. All right, so green. Two. Green. Two. Green. Two. Green. This is so fun. I love this deck. We'll have to know where to run, make a lander token, sacrifice the lander token, 2, GG, got him. Man, this deck is fun. All right, and we're back for the post-game wrap. So 30 games, 63%. Not bad, not as crazy as some of my most recent brews, but still very solid and definitely better after I added Lively Dirge. So when I recorded the opening, I had already I'd already played some testing games, and then when I went into recording, I had decided to add some Lively Dirges to help us have a little bit of recursion and get back our combo pieces if our opponent happened to remove them earlier in the game, or even to fetch them out of our deck if we can't find them, and that helped a lot. So you see here we had a 69% win rate over 16 games after we added Lively Dirge, which was much better than our previous iterations. So the deck probably is a little bit better than these matches suggest now that we've made that change, but our matchups are pretty good. You know, we did okay against the mono green landfall decks. Mono red, little fast for us, and it's just difficult with, you know, all of the Screaming Nemesis and things like that. And I want to say we were on the draw the 2 games that we lost, but even still, mono red is still pretty fast. And they can still have a pretty crazy combo kill, and if you don't get your stuff going quick enough, it's just too slow. But mono green is a little bit easier because we do have some cheap removal and some ways to deal with their threats. So we did great against Azorius, we did good against Boros, and pretty much everything else, you know, we had a smattering of losses to an Orzhov deck and to a Mardu deck, but good against everything else for the most part. And the deck just felt really fun. It's like a puzzle, you know, like there's so many ways to win that you just don't get bored, you know, like every game is like, how do I piece this together so that I can deal the most damage to them? And as you saw in the games, there are a lot of games where we really do have to kind of dig for that win through an unconventional means. And I think it's just such a fun deck, and I haven't had this much fun playing like an aggro combo deck in a long time. And I saw in some of my games that there's like a Phantom Train munitions kind of version of this that I want to try eventually. I want to say some other content creator probably made a video about it, and maybe that's better than this version, but this version felt the best, and this version felt the most possible to win without comboing. You know, like if our opponent doesn't let us do the combo thing, like we've got a pretty aggressive strategy. I mean, just Goldvein Hydra alone can win us games. You know, we've got solid 1-drops, and our 2-drops are all decent. You know, Sentinel, the Nameless City, is nothing to laugh at as a 3-drop. You know, Chandra can win us games. So there's just a lot of ways to win, even if we're not pinging them to death with Biotech Specialist. And that's what I like about it, is we don't have to win that way to win. So with that, the deck was super fun. It felt really good to play. I hope that you'll take a chance to try it. There aren't the only mythics in the deck are Legion Extruder and Chandra. And I wouldn't say Chandra is a necessary. Oh, and Goldvein. Okay, it's a little more expensive than I thought. Goldvein Hydra, though, is a very good card, and I wouldn't say that it's too far out of the realm to craft it. Chandra, you don't need Chandra to win. This was more of just an additional way for me to win, as well as having a top end that could help me dig through my deck to find things. And Legion Extruder, I'd say, is pretty important. So you could probably get away with playing something else instead of Goldvein Hydra, but I like Goldvein Hydra a lot, so it's definitely worth trying. I hope you'll take a quick moment to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here, and you're awesome. I'll catch you in the next one.